Good morning, students. Welcome back. Students, today we will start our next part of the chapter, that is social movement chapter name, and next question is types of social movements. Actually, there are two ways of classifying the social movements. One is redemptive, reformist, and revolutionary, and another one is old and new. In your book over here, according to the redemptive, means that the aims to change in personal consciousness and actions of individuals aim to change existing social and political arrangement. That is redemptive. Last video I have already discussed about all this term, that is the redemptive, reformist and revolutionary. What is the reformist? Reformist movement means reorganization of states on linguistic basis. Attempt to radically transform social relations, often by capturing state power. That is reformist. And the revolutionary? Revolutionary means through the use of weapon, through the use of power. That is revolutionary. And another difference, that is old and new, old movement and new movement. On the part of the old movement, have links with political parties and functions within its frame. Old movement, what I said, have links with political parties and function within its frame. Old movements are organized. It is usually restricted to some regions. And what are the central focus? Reorganization or power relations. It is also interest movement. Draw support from mostly the working class, since its aim is to change status quo. For example, Indian nationalist movement, Chinese revolution, all are included in the old movement. And what about the new movement? New movement is quite different. Actually, its style is different rather than the old movement. Old movement means, as I told, that is organized. Now, the new movement. This is a non-party political formation which put pressure on the state from outside. Relatively fluid. It usually international in scope. Central focus is quality of life issues to change the social structure. It is based on the belief that local people are best able to handle local issues. Therefore, it consists of a local people belonging to different sections of society. For example, like the Chipko movement, Dalit movement, all are included in new movement. Now in your book, I am going to discuss about the ecological movement. What about the ecological movement? It's including new movement. Chipko movement. It started in the Himalayan foothills. Number 1, villagers depended on together to save the oak and the rhododendron forest. It's a types of trees name. When government or the forest contractors came to cut down the trees, villagers including to women and children in large number, which gave the movement a unique aspects. They moved forward to hug trees to prevent the cutting down. Concerns about economy, ecology, and political representation underlie the Chipko movement. So, some of the important elements we have to see, that is the economy, ecology, and the political representation. First point is what? Economy. Economy concerned, forest was a source of subsistence for the villagers, right? It offered people their basic necessities. The Chipko movement symbolized the pitting up the economy of subsistence against the economy of profit. And other one is the ecological concern. It was felt that environmental destruction lead to landslides, floods in the region. A need for valuing forest and wealth was emphasized. Last concern is the political concern. Political concern, the politician towards the government emerged in the minds of hill villagers since the government seemed distant, hostile, and indifferent to the needs of the people. So Chipko movement have three aspects: economic, ecological, and the political. Now my next point is class-based movement. Class-based movement first is coming, that is peasant movement. Peasant movement, on the view of the pre-colonial period, we have to discuss about Tebaga movement. Actually, Tebaga movement is a struggle of sharecroppers in Bengal, in North Bihar, for 2/3 share of their produce instead of half. It was supported by Kishan Sabha and the CPI. It was supported by the Kishan Sabha and the CPI. So what is Tebaga movement? Tebaga movement or the Tebaga movement is a struggle of sharecropper in Bengal, in North Bihar, for 2/3 share of their produce instead of half. It was supported by Kishan Sabha and the CPI. Next, in the period of pre-colonial time, next movement, that is Telangana movement. Telangana movement, it was directed against the feudal conditions in Hyderabad. It was also led by CPI. Another movement is also very popular, that is Nakshal movement. Nakshalbari. It started from the region of Nakshalbari in Bengal, it is a growing force even today. Another movement also present in the term of the colonial period, that is New Farmers Movement. These began in 1970s in Punjab and Tamil Nadu. These movements were non-party and regionally organized. It involved farmers, market involved rather than the peasants. The focus of the demand was price and related issues. These movements have also include environment and women movement also. Next is the workers movement. Worker movements in the colonial period. Laborer was cheap as the colonial government do not regulate wage or the working condition. Workers did protest, but it was spontaneous rather than the sustained. There was waves of strikes in the textile mills in Bombay. For example, in your book, you can see your book also. You can check the book. In 1920s, AITUC, the full form is All India Trade Union Congress, was formed. It was a broad-based organization with diverse ideologies. With its formation, the government became more cautious. In 1922, Factories Act was passed, which reduced the working day to 10 hours. In 1926, Trade Union Act was passed. So we have seen in the era of colonial period on worker movements. In 1920s, All India Trade Union Congress was formed. It was broad-based organization with diverse ideologies. With its formation, the government became more cautious. So they helped the laborers, the workers. Next, we can see that the Factories Act, Trade Union Act, all are present in the pre-colonial period. Now, the post-colonial period. In 1947, the INC chose to form another union called the INTUC, Indian National Trade Union Congress. The working class movement started being divided on the lines of political parties at the national level. Late 1960s, regional parties also started to form their own union. 1966 to 67, recession period of Indian economy, major unrest caused due to decrease in production and employment. 1974, railway workers strike. 1975-77, the government curbed all trade union activities during this period of emergency. So students, I said lots of things about the class based movement and ecological movement. In the class based movement, peasant movement in the time of pre-colonial period or post-colonial period. So you have to remember all these points accordingly. That's why you need to read out the book, and after that you have to try to explain the all movement shortly. After the class-based movement, you have seen that the Naxalbari movement and the many other movements like the Telangana movement, Bengal revolt, indigo related plantation problem, Gandhiji, and the trade union movement, CPI. All these are the important terms. You have to use it in the class-based movement. Workers' movement is also related to production process and the class, and also related to the trade union, AITUC, and the other acts of the government like the 1960s, 1970s, etc. Next is coming out the caste-based movement. What about the caste-based movement? Caste-based movement means, first point, that is Dalit movement. Dalit movement, actually there has been no single unified Dalit movement. It related to any other reasons also. Each movement did have a common quest for equality, self-dignity, and eradications of untouchability. Actually, Dalits are the depressed class. They are suffering a major social issues, that is untouchability. The anti-caste movement began in the 19th century under the inspirations of Jyotiba Phule. You heard the name, I know that, and developed under the leadership of B.R. Ambedkar. Dalit literature is opposed to the Chaturvarna system, means the caste hierarchy system. Which system? The Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, that is. Actually, backward class caste movements, caste began to lose its ritual content and become more secularized for political mobilization because the colonial state distributed on the basis of class, not on the basis of caste. Similarly, caste group and the dominance of caste, it's reduced from the time of industrialization, modernization, and urbanization. Obviously over here we have to also analyze, that is upper caste response. The upper caste began feeling that the government is not paying heed to them because they are not numerically significant. On the basis of caste system, we have an idea, that is on the basis of education, means the literacy, on the basis of status. There are lots of caste present in our society. Actually, caste is a ascribed status. We cannot change our caste. Concept of traditionally upper caste but newly urban and the professional middle class environment. This was because their environment were dominated by the upper caste. The homogeneity made caste drop below the threshold of social visibility. If everyone around is upper caste, caste identity is unlikely to be an issue. Just as the identity of being Indian is unlikely to be relevant unless when seen in a broad environment. So caste movement only a movement for the Dalits. Anti-Brahman movement in Kerala. Dalit movement could be ignored in the past but not now due to media. Dalit literature became popular because it was poem, drama, song, stories about their lives and sufferings and their problems related, etc. Another class-based movement is OBC movement. OBC means the other backward class. Economically backward but are part of the forward caste. Do not suffer from untouchability. OBC was first used in Madras and Bombay for those who are economically backward. So students, I hope you understood the caste based movement. The reformer like the Mahatma Gandhi, B.R. Ambedkar, they are the reformer. They want to change the position of the lower class people in this way. Another is also include, we have to also touch it, that is tribal movement, women movement, and the other social movements also. But today this much only. I'm requesting to all of you, please read out the books, read out the chapter. If you have any queries or questions, next class I will clear it. Thank you everyone.